Thank you for presenting to today's Cranfield Customer Management Forum. Based on your 28 years at John Lewis as Manager of Customer Services, how do you recommend giving a company a great personality?
The big thing that many organisations don't seem to realise is how important it is to have a projected personality. And sometimes you'll associate certain values with certain businesses, and sometimes that's a very intentional association that business is hoping to engender. Sometimes, if it's less than positive, it might be an association they don't particularly want to engender. But it seems to me many organisations don't proactively manage that, so they project a distinct personality that they believe will be appealing to their customer base. So I used examples of Virgin Atlantic today, who that automatically brings certain thoughts to your mind if you mention their name in terms of their attitude and their personality as a business. The point behind doing that is that in many organisations and in many industries, it's really hard to differentiate because of globalisation, commoditisation coming off that. So differentiating on product or service can be quite difficult. Most organisations then start focusing on processes to make themselves really efficient, and that's absolutely right and proper. I'm not suggesting any of these cannot be dealt with if you're driving a personality, but that's where most business effort seems to go from what I see into the product or service or the processes that support it, and they forget about the importance of the actual engagement, the softer stuff. How did it feel to deal with that business? Because it's usually on a more emotional rather than a rational perspective that customers will return to a business. So if you're looking at loyalty and advocacy, you don't hear too many people running back to businesses who actually were really efficient and really effective, but actually someone I really enjoyed dealing with is more likely to generate advocacy, loyalty, and grow market share. The other reason I'm so passionate about business personality is that very few organisations, in my experience, proactively try and do it. So as a differentiator in what's often a crowded marketplace, it's a relatively empty playing field. So there's a real opportunity for businesses to stand out in their sector by doing that. And the other thing about it as well is it doesn't actually cost very much, because more often than not you're projecting this personality through the people employed in the business. They're a fixed, and I prefer to say fixed asset than a fixed cost, because a lot of people do see their employees as serving a function, and part of developing a personality for the business is not viewing people like that, but seeing them as an investment and an asset, and really supporting them in that way to understand and deliver a defined personality when people interact with the business.
Oh, great, thank you. And can I just ask a quick question about how you carry your staff along with you in sort of delivering that brand personality?
You have to articulate it, and it needs to be a very simple articulation. So the John Lewis one was great place to work, great place to shop. I've just finished working with an adult social care team who came up with People, Passion, Pride. It was what they wanted to be known for. And then it's a huge amount of communication, explaining to people why we think it's important they express a personality when they're at work, and define a personality for the organisation. And then you measure it, and then you lead against it. And it's the leadership that actually develops it and hones it and refines it and improves performance usually.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.